It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
Good morning, I'm Philip Simon. Happy Monday to you.
Certainly it is one I think in which we're all just grateful to be alive.
Yeah.
Certainly coming off the news that Kobe Bryant would have passed last night. Kobe, of course, being one of the best known players in basketball in this time.
Yeah.
Having played for the Laker franchise for some 20 years, and then it's very sad fact that he died along with his 13-year-old daughter and 7 others in a helicopter crash yesterday.
Speechless. Speechless when the news first came out. Of course, social media is just a buzz, and friends sent it to me, and I'm like, okay, yeah, TMZ.
Yeah.
I'm like, prove it. And I literally took no mind, and then I started. Every single one of the chat groups was talking about it, so I turned on TV, and I'm like, oh my goodness, life is but a vapor, man. It's just, I'm still in shock.
Yeah.
I'm still in shock.
And I think that so many of us are. I think these moments just remind us of how fleeting our lives are, and how no matter how great you are, how excellent you are, no matter what you've amassed or achieved, none of it really matters, in the end, because we all go on.
Yeah.
And the very sad part being that many of us don't get the opportunity or the time to live to a certain age, have certain experiences, or even say goodbye. So, just feeling the pain of his wife this morning and the mother of his children, and of course that of his children. So,
we were talking before the show, and it's like, you just have to live, right?
Yeah.
You just have to live without regrets. You have to live every single moment. I could not imagine waking up or going to bed with a loved one, waking up with a loved one, and then that same night, that's it.
Yeah.
No, they're not coming back home.
Yeah,
And
so-
condolences all around. I mean, the world mourns.
The world does mourn indeed,
the world
and
mourns.
I think it's just one of those things where we have to take it all in, and I would ask us not to ignore the questions that come up in our minds as we think about this, as we ask ourselves, what is the meaning then of life? What is the purpose that we have each day? How can we forgive grudges? How do we love more? I think those are real questions that we should delve into, and so
Correct.
we'll encourage that this
How do we love more? How do we love more? I mean, take the time to love today. I mean, that's the bottom line, right?
Certainly.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a great show lined up for you, and we're grateful that you are here to see it with us this morning. Going to be talking to a lot of different people and also having some musical entertainment.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Junior Junction is actually coming up on Thursday. Always looking forward to that. Dr. Higgins is here to talk about that. The Consumer Protection Commission is here to tell us all about their Consumer Symposium that's also coming up. And the 8th Annual Arbitration and Investment Summit is also happening this week. And we've got the Minister of Tourism in the house. I mean, a big spread in the papers this morning, and looking forward to talking about those record-breaking numbers of 2019 despite Dorian.
Yeah, that should be a great conversation. Lots of different things happening there. In addition to that, we're going to be learning more about Mobile Assist, that online platform that really helps to hone into the e-commerce space. And so we're really going to learn more about that this morning. Atlantic Medical is also here. They're going to be discussing goal setting and fitness tracking in their Zest for Wellness segment. And Rico B is with us. She's performing a new song called We Bahamas Strong. So we're looking forward to hearing that as well. We've got all of that and more. But before we get to any of that, coming off of a beautiful weekend weather-wise, want to find out from Godfrey Burnside what's in store for us for this week. Here he is with our first look at weather.
Weather at sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First in Insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Star, and good morning, Bahamas. The purple is for Kobe, the black mamba this morning. We mourn his loss, a great Laker fan I am, and so I support him all those years. Second best to Magic Johnson. In your first look at the weather this morning, we do have a quasi-stationary formal boundary across the central Bahamas, the vicinity Exuma. It's drifting towards the north. We'll pull up a couple of showers on New Providence, but more over the Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini by late afternoon into the evening hours through tonight. Today we're looking at a mix of sun and clouds with a few showers, mainly across the extreme northwest Bahamas and the Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini. High temperature reaching 76 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with those showers still occurring across the extreme northwest Bahamas. Below going down to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And some region highs and lows across the Caribbean. Barbados 81 and 76. In Jamaica 79 and 67. In Trinidad 85 and 74. And the Turks and Caicos Islands 79 and 68. Across North America, Atlanta 51 and 40. In Raleigh 51 and 35. In Miami 74 and 58. Dallas, Texas 64 and 47. And Toronto, Canada 34 and 27. As we go through the week, expect more clouds with a couple of showers tomorrow, improving by Wednesday with partly sunny skies into Friday. And then we have some showers on Friday into Saturday, just before the Super Bowl on Sunday. Temperature daytime will be in the upper 70s, low 80s at daytime, and the mid to upper 60s at nighttime. That puts her up in your first look at weather sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Thank you so much, Godfrey. Mobile Assist is an m-commerce app that allows customers to shop, pay bills, donate, purchase event tickets, all from their smartphone. Sounds like the perfect app. And here to tell us more, we're very happy to welcome Selena Archer. She's a marketing consultant with Mobile Assist, and Sherelle Cartwright, who's the owner of Mama Sassy's and a SAC alumni board member and a Mobile Assist client. Ladies, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
How are you? So Selena, I want to get started with you right away. Just kind of learning, how does the Mobile Assist app work?
So basically, if you picture Amazon, it is a app that houses a lot of different vendors, which you can do a lot of different things with.
Okay.
So I know personally, I like to lay in bed and do my shopping.
Indeed.
And now I can do it locally.
Okay.
So we have local vendors that are on the app that you can just order your product. Click, 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 and done. And then you can either have it delivered to you if the vendor offers delivery, or you can go and pick it up in store.
Okay.
If you wanted to donate, we have Junior Achievement, and we have the SAC alumni available for donations.
Okay.
So if you wanted to donate to a nonprofit, you can do that as well.
All right.
If you wanted to pay a bill with our vendors, for instance, we have a production company called Sadler's Cove. What they would normally do is they would quote the clients. The clients can now pay through the app as well.
Okay.
And they can use their debit and credit cards.
Okay.
Which is, again, a big, big plus
Right.
for an app like this.
Okay, okay. And so seems like quite a few different vendors that you have on there. We've got the donation side of things. We've got kind of the event side of things when we look at like Sadler's Cove and their kind of clients paying them. And then are there like stores and groups that we would not be familiar with otherwise?
We do. Daily, we're growing.
Okay.
We want to have it as like one of the premier shopping plazas just virtually.
Okay.
And so right now we have Janae's, we have
Okay.
Sign Island,
Okay.
we have Allen's Lawn Care, which
Okay.
again, you know, I mean, to get a quote online just to get your yard done, and then you have to pay before the person even gets there.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
really, really awesome.
Indeed.
We have the SAC alumni as well. They have a merchandise store, as well as JA has a merchandise store. So
Okay.
even if you didn't want to donate to those two non-profs, you could actually buy merchandise and still
Okay.
assist them with their fundraising. And then, can't forget, we have Mama Sassy's.
Yeah. Mama Sassy right now. Sherelle, talk to us about kind of the Mama Sassy's brand and what it is that you guys create and sell.
Mama Sassy's I started out actually making pepper sauces.
Okay.
Quite a few people have been guinea pigs when I get ready. Therapy for me is cooking.
Okay.
And a friend bought me some peppers, and because I was throwing illness, saying how they always come into my house begging and eating my food, but don't bring nothing. So the person just threw the peppers, say, here, do something with this, and I'm like, what the heck am I going to do with peppers?
Right.
And so I said, let me try making pepper sauce. And so I started playing with it. So I started out with two flavored pepper sauces. One is papaya,
Okay.
Spanish thyme, and rosemary. All of those ingredients I grow in my backyard. Then I have another one which is mango, carrots, and pineapples. They come in 3 different variations of heat: mild, hot, and extreme. So, but the most important thing I want you to get from the experience of tasting my products is that it's not the regular.
Okay.
You can use my pepper sauces as marinades on your meats. You can use it on the grill. And then I went from there into jams and jellies, pepper jams and jellies. So I make a pepper jam using the Calic Bear.
Okay.
I also use the Calic Mango Rattler, which I've turned into a pepper jelly, and that one is great as a dipping sauce. I have one that I made from mulled wine because I love going to France, and in the Christmas, you know, it's cold. You get your wine with your brandy and all your spices and stuff while you're walking on the street, and I turned that into a jelly. So what I try to do with Mama Sassy's is to bring unique flavors from products that are like the bear. That's our product here in the Bahamas. I made one for the Christmas. For the Christmas, I introduced a new flavor, which is a pink Moscato.
Okay.
Pink Moscato, I was speaking to the one of Bristol Sellers, and I learned that there are some brands that are just for the Bahamian market.
Okay.
So as Calic is a Bahamian bear, Pink Moscato, just like the Lamothe Perot, were made specifically for our Bahamian market.
Wow.
So I try to incorporate unique products. I use the Guinness bear in a glaze. I make a glaze that you could use to marinate your meats and stuff like that from the Guinness bear as well.
Sure, you're talking a lot. You ain't bringing me no samples. So that's the first problem, right? But it's fine because I'm going to get the mobile assist app, and that means that I can find you there and order my sauces and my glaze, which is all good. So as a customer of Mobile Assist, you found this to be helpful to you?
Listen, can I tell you it's more than helpful?
Okay.
And here's why. I'm a little lazy in that I don't like having to do more than I need to. But I'm creating and I'm in the kitchen doing my stuff. I don't want to have to look at how I'm going to make money and stuff like that. So with the app, I'm making money while I'm working.
Wow.
Behind the scenes, the analytics is off the chain because when people purchase my products, I get their mailing information. So behind the scenes, a mailing list is being created of my customers. I get demographics on my customers, so I know that if a certain older crowd may buy my product and I want to make my product appeal to a younger market, I now know how to target that. I get a whole behind-the-scenes synopsis of what it is I want to do for my company. And that is priceless because, you know, it's hard to find information as it relates to getting your own business off the ground here, trying to find that information. How do I tweak my product? Now, sitting in my pajamas,
You can look at the app.
I could look at the app
And it's all
say,
there.
okay, well, Mama Sassy's did this. This is what I need to do to grow Mama Sassy's business. I can offer discounts for the alumni side, too. For the SAC Alumni Association, we can pay our dues through the app.
That's awesome.
So not only do you have our alumni base is 8,000 strong.
Right.
So how do we as a small association now target and be able to pull all our people in through, to get...
Through an app that allows them to communicate. And I think that's what's so good about this app, right? Because I hear people talk all the time about wanting to reach more alumni but not knowing how. And it sounds like this is the perfect opportunity with Mobile Assist.
Marketing.
How can we get connected? Like, one as a customer, but even as somebody that wants to sell on the app or maybe connect my alumni association on the app, how do we get connected with Mobile Assist?
So what we'd ask you to do is you can check out any of our social media pages. So that's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just put in the handle Mobile Assist. You can call us on 826-0804, or you can email customer care at mymobileassist.com to get in touch to find out a little bit more information about the app.
Okay, excellent. Well, all great avenues, and you've heard it here from the SAC alumni and Mama Sassy herself that this is a great tool. It really is it sounds so. So I can't wait to re-explore it because I'm excited.
How much are you saving? As
Yeah.
a small business owner, you don't have all that money and that time to put into marketing and doing all of these stuff.
Right.
But here, for minimal fee,
Yeah, you get it all.
annual, you get it all.
Yeah, man.
I
Love me
just
winning.
want to point out too that the biggest pull for our small business owners is the fact that they get the credit card and debit card processing right off the bat when they sign up for the
Now,
account.
this is good stuff, and that's because you guys are regulated by
We
central
are
bank.
regulated by central
Excellent,
bank.
excellent.
So again, there's a process. Normally, if you were to go and apply for the credit and debit facility, it's
Right.
expensive. Here it is. It's just completely built into the app, and customers can pay you instantly.
Yeah.
Which is a big, big,
This
big
is
seller.
good stuff. Well, listen, ladies, thank you so much for joining us this morning and opening the eyes of the world, I think, to Mobile Assist and all that it can do. We really are so grateful to have had you.
Thank you.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on West Bay Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence, every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want first response on your side, call 32-FIRST or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. First response can't prevent an accident from happening,
But it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
Welcome back to the show. Consumers, do you know your rights? Well, the Consumer Protection Commission is seeking to make sure that you are informed and you know just that. They have a symposium tomorrow night at the University of the Bahamas. I'm still talking about my old college days. The University of the Bahamas. Here to tell us more are Philip Benaby, he's the chairman of the Consumer Protection Commission, and Anthony Capron, director, Consumer Protection Commission. Good morning, gentlemen. You guys wear so many different hats.
Yes, morning,
welcome to the show.
Morning, Phil.
Welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, we hear about it all the time. I mean, the Consumer Protection Commission, but really, what exactly is the work of the Consumer Protection Commission under the Consumer Protection Act?
Good morning. Delighted to be here, Phil, to share with you a very important happening, a symposium tomorrow, as you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
The Consumer Protection was created by statute in 2006, and the primary function really is to protect consumers in the Bahamas. Where we have consumers that are being disadvantaged, you have recourse by virtue of, with respect to the sale of goods and the provision of services. And so the consumer protection is there to help all residents within the Bahamas where they have been breaches or disadvantaged with respect to purchases or service providers.
You know, it's interesting. You know, usually when we hear in the media, you know, to talk about consumer protection, it's usually focused around goods, but it also includes services, like you said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. How do you go about it? I mean, how do you know when your rights have been violated?
Yeah.
As a consumer.
Yes. Yes. Well, we have seen a whole gamut of cases that where persons have been disadvantaged. If you purchase a washing machine, and of course the provision is that one of our technicians should set this thing up or repair it, and you got somebody else to do it. Then to set it up, then if something goes wrong, you go back to get recourse. The provider would says, well, you know, you didn't use one of our technicians, and so we have an impasse. Under such circumstances, and we have this all across the services, and banking, and automobile, and funeral homes, and so the once you would have been able to dialogue with the vendor, and you can't have a resolution, then you come to us, and we would act as intermediaries and try and bring resolution to the matter.
All right, and of course this isn't done just solely by the Consumer Protection Commission. You do have partners that seek to bring teeth to what you do.
Exactly.
Who are they?
Yes, we have PBSQ. We have BPL, not BPL, we have six, Urkel, and we have BPL. Well, BPL will be on the panel. So, you know, a lot of people got issues with BPL. So, and so we want everyone to come out to the symposium because there are a lot of people really who don't know their rights.
Right.
So tomorrow night they'll be able to question the people who they have issues with.
Oh wow! Okay, all right. So tomorrow night you have the symposium. It's a big Q&A kind of event, really. Talk more about the event tomorrow night. Consumers, do you know your rights?
Yes. Well, the setup is that we have three agencies under the Ministry of Labor: the Consumer Protection, the Bahamas Bureau of Standards that deals with standards and weights, and then the Price Control Commission, which deals with prices in the food store, which is headed by Danny Sumner and Mr. Aaron Bryce on the Bahamas Bureau of Standards. And so, at the core, we fall under the umbrella of the Ministry of Labor, and then we have what we call our strategic partners, BPL, BTC, Water and Sewage, all of those. There's collaboration with respect to claims or complaints that we have. And so if there is, for example, we've seen a number of persons coming to us about an insurance situation as a result of, in the wake of Dorian. But these matters we have to refer to the Insurance Commission because that's where the remit is. And so we are giving focus to education as the primary focus of the Commission. And we believe that an educated consumer, as they say, is the best customer. Right. Okay, and so...
Most times.
Most times. Well, I think that it's important for us as this part of our strategic direction to ensure that the customer is educated because they make informed decisions, or better decisions, wise decisions, if they do that. And so there's a collaborative effort with within the agencies, and we are doing this twice or three times a year. And so this is a good time to start now at the beginning of the year. And so later on we'll have and bring other agencies into the dialogue, so that we can keep the residents and consumers informed.
Yeah. When you talk about keeping them informed, Tony, you know, what is the process? I'm a disgruntled consumer. What do I do?
Well, you come to CPC, and we're located in the Teachers and Salary Workers Union building out there by the roundabout E3 South. So you come there, we're in the NHI section of the compound. So you come to us, you file your complaint, and we have people there who will remediate for you. We will contact the people who you have issues with, and we'll try to get you both together and see how we can best resolve it.
Is that mandatory? I mean, so when you say you contact, you know, the person or the people that I might have a beef with, is it mandatory or compulsory for them to respond, number one, and then to show up?
Yes, it's a matter of the statutes that provides a platform in which we can create a dialogue. We have the provisions in the Act to call them to a hearing. Now we have looked at in the last year or so the Act, which we propose 22 amendments to the Act to bring it into, like, all the 20th century.
Right, okay.
And also there are no regulations with respect to the 2006 Act, and so we have, as a committee, as a group, drafted with the assistance of the AG's office regulations that help us to govern.
And penalties. I imagine penalties have teeth to act as a real deterrent.
Exactly.
Okay,
if you, for example, does not appear at the hearing, you're subject to a fine. Okay. Now, in the draft of proposed bills, we would refer this to the AG's office. I would like to see where we have some arbitration committee or some group of magistrates that would be able to adjudicate on that and charge, and it's final and it's done with, as opposed to having to refer to the AG's office, which which is the process to get the remedy.
He's putting it very nicely, but certainly, once you leave this segment, Peter Maynard is out there. Maybe that's a conversation you guys can have as well.
Well, we did. We just started.
You started it, right?
Yeah.
Listen, Philip Bannaby, Chairman of the Consumer Protection Commission, Anthony Capron, Director. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here on Bahamas at Sunrise. Again, you're also on social media. I mean, people can find you in the phone books and all the rest of it.
That's right. We have on Facebook and the website. We want to see all of the residents, everybody to University of Bahamas tomorrow, 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
And we're going to have an exciting time, and we're going to come and ask all your questions. We'll be there to assist you.
All right. We have the Franklin Wilson Auditorium tomorrow at 6 p.m. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Incudesk is a shared workspace company that provides services for professionals, freelancers, anybody that's in need of a turnkey solution for a private office space, a conference room rental, or part-time office space service. One of our main services that we provide to our members is high-speed internet access. There can be up to about 50 members within our space utilizing the internet and the Rare voice services. And Rare has done an excellent job of dedicated, reliable, high-speed internet service.
Unwrap holiday joy as Shell lights up Christmas with $50,000 in prizes just for you. Win a brand new 2020 Hyundai i20 Active, thousands of dollars in John Bull and Kelly's gift certificates, along with the latest Apple electronics. From now through January 24, 2020, purchase a minimum of $20 in fuel from your favorite Shell location in Providence and enter to win. Visit our Sun Oil Limited Facebook page for weekly giveaways as Shell lights up Christmas. Terms and conditions apply.
We get up early every morning to offer safe and dependable service. Where quality service is paramount. An excellent travel experience is priority. Connecting the islands of the Bahamas to the world. Bahamas Air. We don't just fly here, we live here.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on Bahamas at Sunrise. The 8th Annual Arbitration and Investment Summit is happening this week under the theme A Clear Vision. Here to tell us more, we're very happy to welcome some of the partners from Maynard Law. We have Dr. Peter Maynard himself, who is an arbitrator counsel and senior partner with Maynard Law. He's brought with him Jason Maynard, and we're very happy to have Mr. Colin Trapp join them as well. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
A pleasure to have you with us, and congratulations on 8 years. That is phenomenal.
Yeah, we're really pleased. 8 years. I should say I'm also head of the law department of the University of the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And I'm pleased that we are able to bring this product, not just for the general public, but also for students.
Yeah, and that's exciting. My sister studied law at the University of the Bahamas. So many of my friends did as well, and I think to see just that program itself grow is absolutely phenomenal.
Yes.
And now to introduce these students to some of the very best arbitrators in the world, this is really going to be a great experience for them.
The superstars are going to be here.
Yeah.
Annette Magnuson, who is the superstar. She is the Secretary General of the Stockholm Institute.
Wow.
That's a Scandinavian tiger
Okay.
of arbitration. She's going to be here, as well as a strong team from the Czech Republic, as well as other local, regional, and international superstars. Very strong panel for the 8th year. Accomplished quite a lot.
Okay.
And we want to make anybody who's interested in arbitration, mediation, ADR, please come to this event. It's going to be really super this Friday at the Warwick Hotel, starting at 8 o'clock.
So this Friday at the Warwick Hotel starting at 8 o'clock. And Jason, I kind of just want to back up just for a second for those who may not know what arbitration is. Let's kind of let them know what this form of, I guess, mediation or legal framework is and why it's so beneficial.
Right. Well, arbitration is an alternative form of dispute resolution. So it's really a method in which the parties contract to resolve their disputes, and there's several ways of getting involved in it. I'm mediating a session on multi-tiered dispute resolution, and that involves the parties agreeing to first mediate their disputes, and then if that mediate and then negotiate, and if that fails, then they move on to arbitration.
Okay.
And so arbitration is really a contractual process between the parties. They agree that if we have a dispute, we will submit that to arbitration and hopefully have it resolved.
It's a private court. In this day where courts are congested and disputes take a long time, they're very expensive to resolve. This is really the way forward.
And you said that we've also had some interesting and new forms of arbitration over these past few years. Yeah. And so it's expanding into things like shipping.
Shipping and maritime. We're delighted that the summit is partly responsible for the attention to maritime arbitration.
Okay.
And for the first time now, we're seeing cruise ships settle their disputes in the Bahamas.
Wow.
The collective bargaining agreements have as a default clause that the disputes are to be held in the Bahamas, settled in the Bahamas. And so we've seen Mr. Peter Galandris, chairman of the Bahamas Shipowners Association. He will be there. And so we want to see if we can make some further progress along the lines of introducing more in the way of maritime arbitrations here in the Bahamas.
Excellent. Now, Colin, I know that you three are distinguished lawyers in the court.
Well,
but is arbitration open to those who might want to gain knowledge in this but might not have a law degree? Is that kind of required for this type of work?
Well, no. Anyone can be an arbitrator, and as Jason said earlier, arbitration is a matter of contract. So parties will come together and they will agree on the terms in which their dispute will be resolved. Okay. Now, in that vein, what you can do is you can choose a particular expert who has vast knowledge of the type of dispute you have, and then they will be able to apply their expertise to resolving your dispute, and that's why quite a number of people like to use arbitration.
Okay, and so this means then that this conference is not just open to lawyers, but anyone that wants to attend.
Anyone who is interested in alternative dispute resolution, arbitration, and investment, please come on down and take a look at the summit with us. It's going to be very interesting.
Indeed, labor is going to be a new element this year.
Okay.
I mentioned maritime labor disputes, but also general labor disputes.
Okay.
And so whether it's the unions against employers, that setting, this can be applied. It can also be applied regarding consumer disputes.
Right.
And I think in an earlier segment they were discussing consumer disputes.
Right.
They ought to be trained mediators and arbitrators. And this summit gives them the opportunity to acquire those kinds of skills.
And labor is such a critical part of us as a nation, and we've been seeing more and more disputes recently. And so if we really want to see that handled effectively, I think the best part of the arbitration idea is that things can move swiftly, where they take so much time in our courts, and then of course the decisions are legal and binding. And so this is really a great opportunity.
Absolutely. One of the arbitrations I did, emergency arbitration with your father-in-law.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were called late at night, so come in and resolve this dispute, sit until it's resolved.
Right.
It was a major dispute. Of course, I can't disclose
the
because
information
it's been confidential.
Right.
But my point is that with these skills, lots of great things can be accomplished, and we did, I think, in that particular case.
Okay,
and just on the point of consumerism, as we know, there's a huge debate about the WTO. We have a session on breaking down barriers and the implications of joining the WTO for us here. Okay. So in the context of the WTO, there's a debate between the consumer on the one half and the producer and the manufacturer on the other half. And we're going to explore on our panel whether joining the WTO will affect sovereignty in this jurisdiction, because when you join the WTO, you have the appellate body that makes decisions that can, in a sense, force certain countries to pay sanctions if they don't comply with those decisions. And so that are some things that we'll be discussing, and whether or not that's beneficial or not. So it's going to be a very interesting panel.
It's just going to be incredibly interesting. You'll learn so much, and like on such a wide variety of topics. I know in our previous conversation, you'd also talked about diversity in the arbitration space.
That's a big thing.
And seeing women there,
How can women play a greater role in arbitration? Of course, Annette Magnuson herself is going to be there.
Yeah.
She had Senate General Counsel last year.
Yeah.
But now she's delighted to be coming personally
this
year, and so I want people to come on and help us to welcome her. And if you if you want to look at the question of diversity, gender balance, this is really the summit to come to observe that.
Jason, can you just let us know again? We know it's Friday. It starts at 8 a.m. at the Warwick Hotel. Is there a cost associated with attending, and how can we register?
Yeah, the cost, it's $350, and you can register online at our website. It would be it's www.maynardlaw.com, or you can come down to our offices downtown. We're in the corner of Bay and DeVoe Streets, across from the old VIP Chinese restaurant. So you can register in person as well, and also you can register at the door. So I'm actually at the summit on Friday morning at registration begins at 8 o'clock, and if you get there early, you can register and get your registration packet and sit down and enjoy the summit.
Now, listen, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and bringing this exciting news. I hope people take advantage of this, because it seems like you just really learned so much, and then of course you open the door for new possibilities in terms of how you resolve conflicts and your role in that. So thank you for coming this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be back with more after this commercial break.
Do you want to know more about the scriptures, the early Christian church, its teachings, suffering, other religions, the authenticity of the Bible? The Anglican Theological Institute is for you. Enroll in a 3-year certificate program. Classes are conducted from NASA and Freeport on Saturday mornings. Don't miss a class. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with high-speed internet. Contact us at 603-2481. Visit our Facebook page. Pick up an application form at any Anglican church or at Addington House on Sands Road. The Anglican Theological Institute is for you.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Maybe you have Rev Phone with its tons of awesome and free features. Or you're watching great content on Rev TV. Or maybe you have our blazing fast internet. So you already know how good it is to have one Rev service. Imagine if you had all three. With Trio, you get all of our services for $99. And you get entered into our $250,000 cashback Christmas. So the question is, why don't you have Trio? Just call 601-8992 or email us at trio@cablebahamas.com. Rev, you and us together.
I am Philip Simon.
And we are at the second half of the show, our midway point. Kind of had an interesting morning, full of conversation so
Full
far.
of conversation, busy morning, as you can tell. You know, that Consumer Protection Symposium tomorrow, I just have to smile. I can imagine the room is going to be full when you have BPL, BTC, Cable Bahamas. They call it a question and answer period. Anyway, let me not say that.
That will definitely be an interesting one tomorrow. Of course, just speaking with Maynard Law about this arbitration summit they have coming up Friday. And they're going to be covering some interesting topics there too, talking about WTO, talking about some investment stuff, and then even shipping maritime and how arbitration fits into all of this. So that
you know, I love the concept. I mean, obviously it's been around for a long time. It makes sense, especially in legal systems and frameworks that tend to go on for years. If you just bring parties together to arbitrate, to have conversations, to try and settle disputes.
And then Mobile Assist was also a great segment.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that company.
Yeah, I know you are. I am too, but it's just good to hear from the customer perspective how beneficial it is to a business owner in terms of analytics and data, which is the way forward for anybody wanting to get into business. So
Chelly's laughing, you know. Chelly can be a little biased from time to time, but certainly it is really, you know, it's a multi-purpose platform. It just has so many different solutions tied into one. You can just go and download it.
Yeah, it's in the App Store. Well, in addition to that, we've got more to come in the second half. We hope that you'll stay with us throughout it. We're going to be talking with the Minister of Tourism, of course.
Yes, the Honorable Denicio de Aguilar is here to talk about record-breaking year. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, tourism has just been, you know, on the rise and doing a lot of good things. So happy to have the Minister joining us this morning. The boys are back. Atlantic Medical, the Zest Wellness. Lady, no, let me not do that.
So we're looking forward to that segment as well. Then we've got Rika, the Bahamian artist. She's here to sing her song, We Bahamas Strong. And of course, we'll learn some more about Junior Junction. We've got all that ahead and more, but first we're going to take a second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside, my fellow Laker fan.
Yes, you're all dressed up.
Yeah, man, purple and gold today.
Yeah.
Weather at sunrise. Brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Star. Good morning, Bahamas. In your second look at weather, sunrise, quasi-stationary from boundary across the central Bahamas, drifting towards the north. Bring a couple of showers over the Providence area sometime later this morning, but the concentrated showers will be across the Grand Bahama, Abaco Bay by evening into nighttime hours. So you can expect some cloudiness over the area tonight into tomorrow with some showers over that area. Those winds have decreased, so seas have subsided, so good boating weather out there at this time. In your marine forecast, winds south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet. Over the northwest Bahamas would be shifting by afternoon west to northwest at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet. Over the central and southeastern islands, those winds are southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet. Those winds falling light and variable at times. On Tuesday, those winds north to northeast at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet. Over the northwest and central Bahamas, westerly at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet. Over the central and southeastern islands. On Wednesday, across all the islands, those will be variable at 10 knots or less, seas less than 3 feet. Your tides. You can expect a high tide at 9:22 this morning. Your next low tide will be 3:48 this afternoon. High again tonight at 9:43. Sunset 5:51 this evening. Rises tomorrow morning at 6:58. UV index 7. Your water temperature 74 degrees Fahrenheit. And your moon phase, no moon. External look. Expect some clouds tomorrow, but expect a pretty good midweek. Partly sunny skies through Thursday. Some showers on Thursday and on Friday and Saturday, and becoming more sunny on Sunday after front process pass through sometime late Friday night into Saturday. And then those temperatures daytime will be in the low 80s at daytime, upper 60s. Behind that front boundary, those temperatures drop off in the mid 70s daytime and the lower 60s at nighttime. That's what's wrapping your fall look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Phil.
Thank you very much, Godfrey. From air to sea, the Bahamas tourism business is stronger than ever. We have the Honorable Minister himself, Dionisio de Aguilar, better known to me as Dio. I can do that, Minister. Thank you so much for being back on the show. Good to see you again.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, man. It's good to see you again.
Yes, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too.
Looking as young as ever.
I don't know about that.
You keep on dying in your white, though. Why do you do that?
Man, that's with age.
That's with age.
And stress.
So listen, you know, we saw some of the promotions, you know, social media was a buzz. I mean, it was kind of surprising, actually, despite, you know, the events of 2019, that the numbers came in so high. I mean, just summarize what would have been an interesting year in tourism.
So you're absolutely right. 2019 was a record year. Yeah. We burst through the 7 million tourist mark, and we landed at 7.2 million, which was a remarkable growth from the previous year, where we were 6.6 million. So we're up 600,000 foreign visitors for 2019. It would have been better had it not been for Hurricane Dorian. And of course, Hurricane Dorian impacted Abaco and Grand Bahama. Abaco was an engine for stopover visitors, the more lucrative component of our tourist arrivals. So that was and continues to be devastating for us. But you know, the rest of the country did very, very well. New Providence did really well. Exuma did really well. Eleuthera did very well. Even the Berry Islands did very well. So it was spread evenly throughout the length and breadth of the Bahamas. And what I want to say is I really think that the Ministry of Tourism did a remarkable job.
You know, I was just about to say so, because this didn't just happen. Because, I mean, I'm looking at all of these different accolades and awards. Too many to list right now, but I mean, it's obviously some serious work is being done.
Yeah, and what I think we did really well was after Hurricane Dorian, when the foreign press descended on our country and inadvertently made a bad situation worse by saying that the Bahamas is being destroyed, being knocked out. The Ministry of Tourism really shifted into gear, dissected the Bahamas into 16 different destinations, got that message out, said that 2 had been impacted, 14 had not. 80 to 90% of our tourism infrastructure had not been impacted by the storm. So come and visit. And, that message really resonated in our core market. The United States, of course, is our core market. 82% of our foreign visitors hail from the U.S. And so that message resonated, and we had a very robust Christmas. We have a healthy January, and the first quarter is looking all right. Considering what has happened here. So I think they really did a good job of getting that message out, getting it in the minds of the travelers that, hey, yes, the Bahamas has been impacted, but it's only Abaco and Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama is coming back on stream. Abaco is slowly rebuilding. So, let me consider other parts of the Bahamas. Nassau did really well, and people, I think, who would have gone to Abaco said, well, let me try out Exuma, let me try out Eleuthera, which is really, really good. So
are you finding, those numbers represent obviously foreign visitor arrivals to the country. Are you finding now that Bahamians themselves are traveling more within the Bahamas as well?
Absolutely. So what we try to do to attract Bahamians to travel domestically, of course, is a calendar full of festivals and homecomings. That is generally the mechanism that the Ministry of Tourism uses to get Bahamians back from whence they have come. So, most of us have a connection to a family island. Our parents, grandparents came from that island, and we want to go back and see what's new and reconnect with those relations that didn't migrate to Nassau. So that is the mechanism that a lot of what the Ministry of Tourism uses to attract Bahamians to go back into the family islands and to see what is what. And the family islands have a very resilient tourism base. People are very loyal. The repeat rate is extremely high. They love the experience. They love really getting to know the people and connecting with the people, the experiential component of that trip. And it's much more. It's smaller locations, hotels. They're a bit more intimate, and so that's very popular. Very, very recession-proof almost. Even though Nassau might be impacted by twists and turns in the economy in the United States, the family islands is very, very resilient. So
the numbers also show that the stopover visitors, which some people call it the bread and butter, has increased as well. Do you find then that with that increase in stopovers and even in the increase in the overall tourism arrivals, that the dollars are trickling down? This is always the constant debate. What do the numbers actually mean?
So we obviously, you're right. We break our tourist arrivals into a stopover component and a cruise component. The stopover component is much more economically impactful. The people come, they land on the island, they get in a taxi, they go to the hotel, they spend time in restaurants, they go on excursions, so on and so forth. So those component of your tourism arrivals, they're the ones that spend the most money. So those are the ones we're most determined to attract. Abaco was an engine for stopover visitors. It's most unfortunate that island has really bared the brunt of Hurricane Dorian, but they had a huge stopover component. Your cruise passengers come for a couple of hours. They spend some money, but not nearly as much as the stopover visitors, but they come in droves. I like to throw out this component into the city of Nassau. 10,000 cruise passengers arrive here every single day of the year.
Wow.
So the Bahamas is the cruise capital of the Caribbean. We are wonderfully situated next to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Canaveral, the 3 busiest cruise ports in the world. So all you got to do is push out of there, and you drop into the Bahamas. So they are an important component just by the sheer volume of
And then once they're here, the first thing is you get them here. And then once they're here, you get them doing things. So obviously the numbers, it looks great. How are you feeling about 2020? We're into a whole new. It feels different already.
So 2020 has gotten off to a good start. We feel that January is doing very well for us. February is probably flat. March we have some challenges with, and April is looking good. So the first quarter is all right, but it's still the effects of, first of all, you know, Dorian has still got to keep pounding the message. We're open for business, open for business. And then also we've lost Grand Bahama and Abaco. Grand Bahama is coming back on stream, but Abaco still has some work to do. And, you know, in the minds of the traveler, those two islands are perceived to have been the most impacted. And so the message is that much harder to get out to them and, you know, there's a rebuilding process underway. So we expect them to rebound probably in the latter part of the year.
All right. I mean, we say it all the time. Tourism is everybody's business. Certainly the Ministry of Tourism and Leisure is taking the lead in that conversation. But again, it remains everybody's business. Everybody's a stakeholder. What do you say to Bahamians who might be watching this about our tourism industry?
Tourism is the lifeblood of our economy. Over 50% of our GDP is generated by tourism. 2 out of 3 Bahamians are employed in the tourism sector. So at every turn, at every stance, be wonderful, be nice to our foreign visitors, help them in the best way that you can, because it's impacted, if not your life in particular, but that of many of your family. So it's the engine that drives this economy, and we have to stay focused on it. If we don't get revenue from tourism, we don't have revenue for education, healthcare, social assistance. So this is, I always say, you know, this is the most important ministry. This is the one that generates the revenue so that we can spend it in areas where we need it. So it's
very
that important.
Proud and very happy to have you at the forefront of that deal.
Thank you so much.
We've been with the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Denise Aguilar. Over to you, Star.
Thank you so much, Phil. Well, I'm talking to two of my favorite gentlemen. If you've been trying to figure out how do I get into the 2020 swing and make sure that my fitness goals are priority, you're going to love this segment. So happy to have Donovan Ingram, who's the wellness coordinator at Atlantic Medical with us, along with Naval Miller, who's the assistant wellness coordinator. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Always a pleasure to have such handsome faces smiling in front of me, man.
Just not to make us blush.
But you guys have really been doing a phenomenal job, I think, with changing the way the country sees health and fitness, and having a Zest for Life, 3-year Zest for Wellness program. As you look back at 2019, what are some of the big achievements that you guys can really be proud of?
Well, you know, thank you for that note just now about us doing a good job, because we try our hardest to change the mindset of individuals we come in contact with on a daily basis when it comes to wellness. And last year, we looked at the records. We are powered by Virgin Pulse. We have this reporting aspect where we can go back, we can see what the engagement numbers are within a company. We can see how many steps they're getting on a daily basis. And we are happy to note that our members aimed for 3 million steps per day.
Oh, wow.
All throughout 2019.
Wow.
And that's an average step count. And some days the step count's got up to about 4 million steps per day, and those were particularly days like our fun run walk. And so we are happy to know that we are contributing to the success of individuals' wellness journey by getting them to be a little bit more active and be a bit more aware of how inactive they may be.
With 4 million steps, that's a whole lot of steps. Well, why is it even important to just start walking? Like, why should we be counting steps or looking at even using fitness monitoring apps to kind of help us stay in the wellness frame of mind? How does it benefit us?
Well, it benefits us in regards to accountability. So, for example, on the weekends, Donovan and I, we would set up a step tracking challenge, right? And that holds me accountable throughout the week. And matter of fact, the World Health Organization has recommended that each individual should obtain at least 10,000 steps per day to reduce their risk of non-communicable diseases. And just by the flick of the wrist, it's motivation. So I'll flick my wrist right now and say, hey, I have obtained 5,000 steps. So that's added motivation to get to that 10,000 steps right there.
So I need to get one of those. That's what it sounds like.
Naval didn't even comment that we had a step challenge this weekend.
Yes, this weekend.
And I can't say if I won or not. But it does keep you accountable. It motivates me. And sometimes when we have these step challenges, I'm not really aware of my step count, but when I have the challenge per se, it makes me want to know what I have and then what others are having in terms of their step count, but it pushes me to get even more steps. Sometimes in the evening times when it's 8 or 10 o'clock at night, I'm not at 7,000 steps yet, I can look at the device. It motivates me to say, you know what, it's only 1 more 1,000 steps to go. Let's create an obstacle course in the house. Let's create more steps. And it's changing the mindsets of individuals, because it doesn't limit them just to a gym or a fitness facility. What we're doing is encouraging persons to be aware of their step counts to ensure that they are at their most active point of their lives.
So I love this idea of the step count challenge, right? Because it says, okay, Star, we have to get 10,000 steps in today, which is a realistic goal. And then I'm monitoring it with the Fitbit or whatever I use. And it's like, okay, I'm at 7,000, I'm at 8,000. I have something to push for.
Right.
That's what goals kind of do, right? They kind of give you an idea of where you need to go and guide you so that you're getting there. How important is goal setting to fitness in 2020, and what are some of the steps we need to consider as we set those goals?
Well, one of the first things you need to do when you set a goal is have a purpose.
Okay.
And you set a realistic goal in the sense of setting a purpose. A lot of times persons set these large goals that they want to lose 100 pounds in 2 weeks, and that's very unrealistic, you know. Whereas if you said, I'm going to limit my sugar intake today and I'm going to drink a lot more water, or if I want to lose at least 1 pound, 2 pounds within a week, those are realistic goals, you know. And then even the avenue of how you are accomplishing these goals. Are you going to embark on a keto diet when you know that you can't survive on a keto diet? Or is a gluten-free diet something for you? Be realistic with the diet you associate with as well. As a nutritionist, my biggest recommendation is always aim for a holistic diet, getting whole grains into the diet, getting fruits and vegetables into the diet, and then also lean proteins. But balancing the plate to ensure that the majority of your plate are vegetables rather than carbohydrates and proteins, you know. But in this journey of 2020, we want persons to know one thing is that you can accomplish any goal you want, you know, and you have to be willing to go out and do it. But you have to be consistent in your way of doing it, you know, and anyone can achieve anything they want. And these goal setting of weight management or weight loss, these are easy tasks, I feel, you know, and in the sense that you really have to just commit to it and it happens. And we find that weight loss happens when you get in a routine of doing things. You're going to the gym certain times of the day, every day. You're eating healthy every day, and you're choosing water over sodas every day. Those types of habits go a long, long way, you know.
Now, one of the other things that people like to think about this time, Ian, as we talk about fitness, and I've heard people associate your wealth as your health, right? And your health is your wealth. How do we kind of look at the financial side of our lives and kind of line that up with our desire to improve our physical selves?
Well, in regards to setting up, like say, for example, financial wellness goals for this year, first off, you have to create a budget. You have to be aware where you're at financially and what you're spending your money on. Secondly, is to create a savings plan. It was quite devastating to know during the passing of Hurricane Dorian last year, a lot of individuals didn't have enough savings to even be mobile to leave the island in the case of emergency. You, as a young individual, see what investment opportunities or packages are out there. For example, like Colonial Group, we have a pensions plan over there. A lot of our young millennials right now are not thinking about pension plans or saving for retirement. These are the type of conversations we need to have right now, starting today.
Yeah, no, and that pension thing has been something. You guys had an event years ago, and Susie Orman came, and that was the first idea. It opened my mind to the idea that, wow, pensions are not for my mom, but pensions are for me. It's something I need to plan. Glad you guys come and bring such wisdom, and so we thank you so much for joining us today. If we did want to reach you about getting involved with the ZEST program or learning more about Atlantic Medical and what you offer, how do we do that?
Well, we definitely do have a wellness blog, so we provide a lot of resources there for individuals to use. We have articles, we have webinars, podcasts, and we even highlight our rocks of the quarters. And we have individuals who've done very well with their wellness journey. We've highlighted those individuals, and we ask any individual, if you have any need for any resource, check out our wellness blog. It's www.zestwellnesscgiblog.com.
Okay, www.zestwellnessblog.cgi.com.
Zest Wellness CGI blog.
Okay. All right. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
This is Eddie, and Eddie's a change counter. This is Sean. Sean doesn't have to count change because when Sean purchases a plan with Alive, it's VAT inclusive. Keep things simple, just like Alive's all-new VAT-inclusive prepaid plans with more talk, more text, and even more data. So don't be an Eddie. Freedom simplified. Alive. Believe, invest.
Welcome back to the show. Well, it is here coming to Bay this coming Thursday, the 32nd edition of Junior Junkanoo. Here to tell us all about it is Henry Higgins, Coordinator Junior Junkanoo Bahamas, and Rowena Sutherland, Executive Director of Culture. Welcome back. Good to see you again.
Thank you so much.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I can't believe that it's finally here. I know the kids are ready. 32nd edition. It's been a long time, actually. It doesn't seem as though it's been 32 years, but yeah, 32. You ready?
Yes,
they are ready.
You're ready? We're ready. They're ready. We need to go. This needs to happen. It's going down on Bay.
It's going down this coming Thursday. So tell us, I mean, how many schools are participating? We were talking before we got started that, it used to be before Christmas. I mean, many years ago, and it seems to be paying dividends now, having it at this time of year.
Absolutely. Well, you can't do anything without consultation and partners.
Right.
And so the Ministry of Education is one of our partners. Of course, it impacts the children. And so we have a Cultural and Education Committee. And based on our conversations and consultation and data, we found that it worked better with the school calendar to have it in January.
Yeah.
And so now Junior Junkanoo takes place the last Thursday of January.
All right. And of course, that has also helped with the participation.
Absolutely, because you don't have to compete with the aggressive exam calendar.
And Christmas itself, right?
Yes.
And Christmas itself. So tell us, this year, I believe you have, how many schools?
This year we have 21 schools, which is increased from 5 from last year. We had 16 last year.
Right.
This year we have 21, and so they are excited. I've had an opportunity to visit them this weekend. I spent the whole Saturday going to
around
schools, and so they are excited and they are ready to go. We actually also have 3 schools coming from the Family Islands. We have the Benny District of Schools, we have Mangrove Key District of Schools, and of course we have Preston Aubrey High School. So they are coming to be a part of this as well.
Anything different happening this year besides the addition of some of those schools? Some of them, I would imagine, are brand new to it. But the route itself remains the same. It's right along Bay. There's no lapping. It's just one straight.
Yes, well, the route remains the same, but you'll find that we've made parade adjustments. So you'll see a different look and a different flavor, new vendors, updated, more young. And you will also find that we beefed up security. So we really want to make it a family-friendly event.
All right. So where do you start and where do you end?
The parade starts at Frederick Street and Bay Street, and then we end at East Street. And so what you'll also see this year is that we've gotten some new categories this year, which is the off-the-shoulder category and the free dancer here. So we're bringing it closer to the stadium parade as well.
No doubt about that.
Yes.
What time does it start?
5:30.
On the dot?
On the dot. On the dot. So if you come late, you won't have a seat, you'll miss it. So you want to be there on time.
Yeah. You talk about these new categories. How is the parade judged? I mean, similar type of way? I mean, you got your own...
The parade is judged the same way, the same system applies. The only difference is we don't use the decimal point system. We use straight points, and the exciting thing of all is the results are called right after the parade, and the parade results are final.
Yeah, the judge's decision is final. There ain't gonna be no commission and no back and forth time to marinate about what happened or what didn't. The prizes as well for Junior Junkanoo, right? I mean, you have significant partnerships as well.
Absolutely. Well, again, with that committee, we have the Education Cultural Committee and consultation. We want to be intentional and holistic in the prizes, so it's not just money. We want to say, okay, what does this school need? What are the needs? And so we tailor it to those schools and try to give them what is needed as their prizes.
Excellent. Henry, you've been doing this for a minute. I'm not going to say a long time, because then that might age you. But you've been doing it for a good minute, right?
Quite a time.
What have you seen has been the real, true benefits of Junkanoo and Junior Junkanoo, particularly to the children?
Well, particularly the children, it's an educational process for them.
Yeah.
We've seen them work together, so we've seen more teamwork, we've seen more unity, we've seen more oneness. We've also seen them learn mathematics and English and history and right now, even last week, I saw some of them researching their costume, trying to make sure they understand, because one of the things we've impressed upon the teachers, make sure they know what they're wearing and why they're wearing it, because our theme this year is highlights of Bahamian history. So we want them to be able to get some history while they're doing it.
Yeah, I'm loving that. I mean, Rowena, you know, you as director of culture, right? I mean, obviously this is who he is.
It's who he is.
I mean, it's an important part, it's an important expression of who we are as a country. Junkanoo just is something unto itself. I mean, why, again, is this such a critical thing, a critical expression for us as Bahamians?
Well, I always say that Junkanoo is the most heightened expression of who we are as Bahamians. It's not the only way, but it's the most heightened way. It incorporates so much of who we are and how we express ourselves. And to lose that would be to lose our identity. And so that's what Junkanoo is for. That's what Junior Junkanoo, that's why the program exists. It exists so that we can have succession, so that we can have understanding, education and development, and a true sense of identity. And so it is paramount that Junior Junkanoo remain.
All right. So 5:30 this coming Thursday. You have different categories, of course. I mean, I see kids as young as this out there doing their thing.
This year we have the preschool division, which is always the most hotly contested division. We have the primary school division. We also have the all-age school category. And of course, we have the senior high school. We also have tickets on sale, and it's on sale right at the ministry in the foyer. And we're selling the seats in Russell Square for $10. So come and get your tickets
now.
In the Russell
And we're there until 7. And I just have to mention, this cannot happen without partnerships. So we'd like to thank our partners, the Ministry of Education. Of course, for 32 years, Seoul Petroleum Bahamas Limited has been the title sponsor of Junior Junkanoo. And so we are so pleased that they're still with us. And of course, our partners in the National Junkanoo Committee.
Oh, excellent. Well, listen, I'm very tempted to kind of be out there this coming Thursday at 5:30 p.m. until, when does it end?
About 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. All right, great. School the next morning. Henry Higgins, Coordinator, Junior Junkanoo, and Rowena Sutherland, Director of Culture. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
All right. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Since 1967, FOCAL has been a vital part of the Grand Bahama community, providing high-quality products and great customer service. Today, we continue to work hard and remain focused on fueling growth for people throughout the Bahamas.
One thing, two things, new thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Thank you for staying with us here on Bahamas at Sunrise. Well, if you've been tuning in to hear Rika B perform, this is the time. She'll be singing a song for us called We Bahamas Strong. But before we get into the song, just wanted to hear something from her and from 3 of these outstanding gentlemen standing with her. Gentlemen, if you can introduce yourselves for us and tell us your affiliation with Rika and this song.
Yes, well, my name is Silvano Russell, and I'm the Public Relations Manager for Recap Productions, Bahamas Productions. And my position here is to enhance Rika B's image, to make her look as good as possible. And all our prayers and thoughts goes out to the victims in Abaco and Grand Bahama. So, yeah.
And I'm Dr. Oscar Seymour, and I'm the chairman of Recap Productions. And we're just here to support our Bahamian people and let them know that we are here to be Bahamas strong.
Okay.
My name is Ian Demareth.
I'm the director of Recap Bahamas. Recap Bahamas. Connect.
Productions, yeah.
Productions, sorry.
All right.
And I'm the director, and I'm here to support Rika B on behalf of all the victims of Hurricane Dorian.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get away to the top level and bring the Bahamas.
Together.
That's one, yes.
Certainly. And Recap Productions is a music company.
Yes, it's a music company, and she is an international producer and songwriter is Raquel Forbes.
Okay.
And she has artists and musicians also in the UK, Africa, the US, and the Bahamas as well.
Awesome. The song that we're going to hear today is actually written by Raquel Forbes.
Definitely.
And so, Rika, could you kind of just let us in on that story and how this song came to be?
Well, actually, the song came about, Raquel and I have been friends for many years.
Yeah.
I look up to her as a big sister,
Mm-hmm.
and she called to check on me after the storm.
Mm-hmm.
She called to check on me after the storm, and she wanted to find out how things were going at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I was telling her that I was also displaced. I was displaced from my home for about 7 weeks or so.
Oh, wow.
And I would have lost like 90% of my items at home. And I challenged her. I said, you know what, you should write a song about, the Bahamian people and what we would have went through during this time.
Right.
And she, to my amazement, within 15 minutes, she called me back and said it's done.
Wow.
And I was completely in awe, and there's something that was unprecedented for her as well.
Right.
So, yeah.
So you're singing this song, We Bahamas Strong, and we certainly remember those of us that would have kind of watched without being able to help as people went through this idea of being Bahamas strong, seeing the resilience of our people as they did things that we could not have imagined to survive. What does the song mean for you then, and how will it be used to raise awareness and kind of bring people together?
Well, the song is basically used as a tool for healing.
Okay.
It's to bring the Bahamian people together in unity
Mm-hmm.
and in love, and also to show that, no matter what comes our way, we can be united, and we're resilient people, and we can get through it through God's help. So.
Awesome. And then part proceeds from the song, of course, will be donated to relief victims.
The victims,
Okay.
yes.
Where can we find the song?
It's on all digital platforms right now. You
Okay.
can find it on YouTube, CD Baby. You can find it on
iTunes as well. Okay.
Amazon.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So we're going to have the song in just a second. But if we wanted to learn more about Recap Productions, how could we do that?
Well, you can go to our website at recapproductionsbahamas.com.
Okay.
And you can also touch base with me directly at 427-0447 for any further information.
And of course, the goal is to get the song out there to the public as much as possible. So if schools want her to come and perform and all of that.
Definitely. And not just the public, but also an international base as well.
Okay. Awesome.
We need to let
Rika?
the people know that we are Bahamas strong.
Indeed. Well, we're going to let Rika sing for us now. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Here is Rika B with We Bahamas Strong.
I am a Bahamian.
I am a Bahamian.
I am a Bahamian. And we are all Bahamas strong.
Now skull it! Bahamas strong, Bahamas strong, Bahamas strong. Yes, we are Bahamas strong, Bahamas strong, Bahamas strong. Yes, we are. No matter what come our way, we're standing firm. Trials and tribulations came to make us learn. Many saw destruction and they counted us out. But we're stronger now, and that's without a doubt. We're stronger than ever, we won't give up. We're standing united, we Bahamas strong. Bahamas strong, Bahamas strong, Bahamas strong. Yes, we are Bahamas strong, Bahamas strong, Bahamas strong. Yes, we are. Shed a lot of tears for many loved ones lost. Many thought we couldn't, but we built them back. 700 islands, sun, sand, and sea. People filled with faith, love, and unity. We're stronger than ever, we won't give up. We're standing united, we Bahamas strong. Bahamas strong, Bahamas strong, Bahamas strong. Yes, we are Bahamas storm. We strong for the world to see. We coming in love. We coming in unity. We weathered the storm. We lost so much, yet we stand here grateful. We kept our faith, and to God we're thankful. Emmanuel, God with us. Bahamas strong, Bahamas strong, Bahamas strong. Yes, we are. We won't give up. We standing united. We Bahamas strong.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here on Bahamas at Sunrise. This is Rika Biso.
Absolutely. Bahamas strong. Listen, indeed we are. Indeed we are. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Awesome job, beautiful lyrics, and of course, we hope that you'll remember that this week, that we are, of course, Bahamas strong, and so are you individually. We'll be back with more on Friday. See you then.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.